Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Marcy, and I'm here to do my review on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 8, Episode 10, Trouble on the Family Tree. Alright, so listen, let me just get right into it. Candy and her mom were having a conversation, and Mama Joyce decides to go pay Phaedra a visit. You know, Mama Joyce got to be nosy. She got to stir the pot. She got to stay up in Candy's business, because if it ain't with Candy's men, it's with Candy's friends. Remember how she tried to come for Carmen? Because she was trying to say that Carmen and Todd had an affair. I mean, Mama Joyce can be so messy. So, yeah, I'm going to need Mama Joyce to get her a man of her own and just stay out of Candy's business. Just stay out of Candyland, okay? My goodness. So anyway, so Mama Joyce decides to go pay Candy a visit, or what? No, I'm sorry. Mama Joyce decides to go pay Phaedra a visit. So that's what her and Candy was talking about. So anyway, moving on. Kenya is going to Detroit to mend her broken relationship with her mother, and as you guys know from the past few episodes, no, actually from previous seasons and on the past few episodes of this season, Kenya has talked about how her and her mom doesn't really have a relationship; it's more of a strained relationship, and how she ran away from her father and her stepmother when they moved to Houston, Texas from Detroit. She ran away and never really looked back. So she's just now coming back to mending her relationship with her dad. So now she wants to mend a relationship with her mom. And I really think that's really good for Kenya, because no matter what you go through as when you have broken relationships with your parents or whatever, you get to a certain point in your life to where you want to just end all that, because life really is short. And as you get older, you start to think about what really matters in life, and the main thing that matters in life is family. So I see what Kenya's doing, and I really like what Kenya's doing. She's just growing, and she's trying to put BS behind her and just trying to be with her family and establish a better relationship with her family. So anywho, so they show Kenya, she's going to Detroit with her friend Brandon, and he's a really good friend to her, because he's really there for her for the support and stuff. So she's going to Detroit to meet up with her dad and stuff, because she's going to start with her dad. So she's going to go there and meet up with him. And in the meanwhile, Cynthia and Peter, they're planning to go on a nice little trip, because they're still trying to mend their relationship. So this episode was really about people mending relationships. So Cynthia's talking to her daughter Noelle. She's helping her to find some clothes to wear, because Peter told her that they were going to be going somewhere. So, and that's cool to see them working on their marriage too. And Cynthia's daughter is really pretty. She's a cute little girl. So, anywho, well, Cynthia and Leon's daughter rather. So, anywho, Portia and her sister, they meet up at the gym. But let me say this about Portia. Portia, I get it. You got a banging ass body. I would not take that from you. Your body is just, oh my gosh, just everything. Flat stomach, nice size ass. Just, oh, her curves just come out. Portia got it. But it's like, I'm tired of seeing it now. I'm tired of her flaunting it all over the place. Just like when she on the season on the episode where they were in the pool with those guys, and Tammy's nephew was acting like a damn fool. On that episode, Portia just jumps out of the water and just starts kind of like twerking. It's like, quit running around here like a little thought. Okay, we know you got a banging ass body, but damn, I don't think a man is gonna want to take Portia serious, because she's just flaunting her ass around like. So anyway, she's at the gym with her trainer, who happens to be hot as well, and they're doing all kind of exercises, and they look freaky as hell. It just looked like Portia just trying to turn the damn man on, but he actually seems focused on what he's there to do. He seems like he really is focused on his job, and that he really is not stunting Portia. But I'm just like, damn, she got to be so flaunty, and I'm not a hater by far. I mean, if you got it, you got it. But I'm just saying, like, damn, people get tired of seeing that every episode. You just always flaunting your little ass around. So she's there in the gym with her trainer. They're working out, and her sister shows up, because apparently Portia called her sister to come up there so they can have a conversation, because previously her sister messed up some things on an order, and she missed some packages because her sister works for her. So she come up there so they can talk about it. But here's my thing. When they were talking, the thing I picked up on, and I picked up on this a few episodes back when Portia was with the Duke dude. Portia is jealous of her sister right now, because she's Portia felt like she thought she would be married and having had the kids at this point in her life, and which I get it. I understand that you go through that. You feel like you got your life planned out to a certain way, and then when it comes down to it and it doesn't turn out like that, you feel some type of way. But it's like, don't take it out on your sister just because of that. It's not her fault. So I just picked up that Portia's jealous of her sister, and then in her confessional, she was basically saying it, that she does feel some type of envy, but in her sister's face, she's trying to play it off like it's about something else. So they going back and forth, getting into a heated discussion. Portia's telling her she needs to be able to rely on her, and her sister's like, well, you need to take it more easy on me because I'm pregnant. You need to have more, just a little more compassion. And I mean, who else is going to take care of your money without taking it from you or trying to steal from you? Basically saying like, look, I'm really the only person you can really trust for real. So don't be trying to come down on me too hard. Now, I do get it. Just because Portia can trust you, it doesn't give you a pass to be a slacker either. So, but I do think that more than anything, I think Portia was magnifying the situation because Portia's more so jealous. She is really jealous, and I understand Portia try to walk around like she's hot shit and that she's just so happy. I think to some extent Portia's trying to compensate for something else. I think she's trying to compensate for that insecurity. Because regardless of how somebody look on the outside, she can look like the most beautiful girl in the world. But if she got some insecurities going on the inside, it doesn't really matter how beautiful she is on the outside. So I think that Portia got some insecurities as far as, like she said, she thought that at this point in her life she would be on a certain page and she's not there. And then on top of that, I'm pretty sure it hurt it when her marriage didn't work out. And then it seemed like she's meeting people and it's just not working out. So yeah, it's a natural feeling to feel some type of way. So anywho, so that's what was going on there. So they had their little argument or whatever, and that was that. So then moving on, Phaedra gets a visit from Mama Joyce. Like I said earlier, Mama Joyce decided to go visit her, and they're sitting there talking. And honey, Phaedra is the queen of spinning a person. Phaedra know how to talk, boy. Phaedra wasn't even faded by Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce come up in there, to be nosy, like, what's going on with you and Candy? You guys used to be so close. And now, Phaedra's like, well, we had some miscommunication before, but we're okay now. We're on the right track now. And then Mama Joyce, she couldn't leave it at that, honey. She had to keep trying to go in. She's like, she had to try to go in for the kill, honey. She's like, well, they said that you were saying some things about Candy. And Phaedra's like, well, Don Juan had said some things and blew some things out of proportion, but it's okay now. And Mama Joyce is like, well, I would hope so, because I don't want Candy upset, with her being that this pregnancy is high risk, and I don't want her to be upset or any stressing out about anything, because, I'm going to have to go Mama Bear on you. Basically, she letting her know, like, look, don't be stressing my daughter out, because you know me, honey. I'll go to 10 on your ass. I'll be Mama Bear. And so Phaedra's like, oh, no, I understand. I definitely understand. I like Phaedra, though. Phaedra don't let nobody see her sweat. But yeah, so they smoothed that over. So the outcome of that conversation was Mama Joyce asking Phaedra to go ahead and host help with Candy's baby shower, and I thought that was nice. They were civil. Although I think if Phaedra was ready to take it there, Mama Joyce would have been ready to meet her there. You know what I'm saying? If she wanted to take it to another level. But it was cool. So after that, Portia and her sister meet up again, and this time it really comes out about why Portia's mad. And like I said, it came out about her sister being pregnant. So Portia's sitting there eating on some fruit, eating the hell out of it like she the one pregnant. And she's like, why didn't you tell me you were pregnant? So her sister says, well, I didn't tell you I was pregnant because I know what you've been going through, and I didn't want to try to make you feel any type of way. I felt like you would feel some type of way. So Portia's like, no, I wasn't gonna feel no type of way. And Portia's sitting up there lying and shit. Yes, you was gonna feel some type of way, Portia, because your ass do feel some type of way. So they're talking about it, and Portia just keep insisting that she's okay and that she doesn't really need her sister to try to look out for her like that. But I feel like her sister was being a sweetheart because she was right. Portia was feeling some type of way. Portia and Cordell had gone to the fertility clinic and stuff like that. So Portia has had issues with trying to have a baby and stuff. So yeah, but I'm glad that they talked it out, because even though Portia didn't want to admit it, it was still was a good thing that they talked it out, because now she knows that even if she does feel some type of way or any type of semi jealousy or just a small bit of enviousness, she knows that her sister understands. You know what I'm saying? So that can make a person feel better. Nobody ever wants to admit when they feel these types of feelings of jealousy, feelings of envy, feelings of just nobody ever wants to admit that, because then they will be called a quote unquote hater. And just period, nobody wants to admit it. But the reality is these are real human feelings, and sometimes you will feel these things, but it doesn't mean you have to harp on it, and it doesn't mean you still can't be happy for another person, because I think Portia is happy for her sister, but I think she just in her feelings a little bit. And I knew that just from when her sister first announced she was pregnant. Like, I just knew, like, yeah, Portia jealous. So they talked it out and they hugged it out, and that was that. They got, hopefully Portia will get past that. Hopefully Portia will meet some damn body and calm her ass down, because she's just getting off the chain. Anyway, so moving on. Kenya goes to her mother's house. Okay, so her and her dad and Brandon and them, they're on the bus and they go to her mother's house, and her father, before they go to her mother's house, though, her and her father have a conversation about her mother and what happened, what went down in the past, and why her mother acts the way that she does. And basically, it was some scandal, behind the birth of Kenya, and her mother just didn't want to deal with it. So it's just crazy. So for years, her and her mother have always had a strained relationship. So she tells the driver of the bus to go over to her mother's house, in which he does. And I thought this was so sad. Kenya goes to the door. Her mother did not open the door. In fact, Kenya heard her mother say, don't open that door. She heard her mother lock the door and tell somebody, don't open that door. I mean, how scandalous. Now, before I be judgmental, because I don't know, her mother, but maybe her mother didn't want to open the door because she knew Kenya was there with the cameras. Not everybody is comfortable with airing their business out on TV. And maybe that's why she's not talking to her right now. Maybe that's why she didn't want to talk to her at that moment. I don't know. But whatever the case, it's just so sad when a person has to endure their own mother not wanting to show them love. Because at the end of the day, no matter who on this earth does not love you, does not like you, does not accept you, the one person that God put, that God chose to bring, give you life on this earth is your mother. That is the one person that you always want to feel like you can depend on when it comes to, getting love and getting acceptance and, receiving love and receiving acceptance. It's like, if your mother won't do it, it's like, oh my gosh. Even if you got a motherly figure, it's still nothing. I mean, and I'm not going to say it's not nothing like your own mother, but I'm saying it's just still, it's just natural. Your mother carried you, your biological mother carried you for those months and pushed you out. So it's like supposed to be an automatic connection. But hey, it doesn't happen like that with everybody. So at any rate, so I felt bad for Kenya. I really did, because that's just really sad. So what happened was, she went ahead, she kept it moving. She kept on moving, and they went over to her Aunt Lisa's house for the reunion. So they went over there, and Kenya noticed, as they were saying, as they were like, kind of like just kind of together, and just being grateful and thankful for all of them being together. Kenya notices a family member is missing. Her aunt, what is her aunt? One of her aunts, basically. She noticed she was missing, and she's like, well, where did she go? Where did she go? Where did she go? And basically, the aunt got up and left because she got a call from Kenya's mother, Pat. And, I mean, it was just, I don't know, that's just crazy. Her Aunt Lori, that's who it was. Aunt Lori left. And she left because Kenya's mama called her, and it was just, I just think it's sad the way they treated Kenya. But anyway, so one of the other aunts go outside with Kenya and tells her what happened. Like, yeah, she got a call from Pat. That's why she left. And I didn't like that. I just didn't like that. Because the one aunt that left, Aunt Lori, she could have been trying to talk some sense into Kenya's mama. Like, well, why don't you just talk to her, Pat? You know, at least talk to her. You know, outside of the camera, just talk to her. I mean, gosh. So that was that. Oh, and then let me say this too. Portia went to go visit Todd, and Portia, I mean not Portia, Phaedra. I'm sorry, Phaedra went to go visit Todd. They look at the video that the DVD that that Phaedra was supposed to put out or whatever, and she didn't. But Phaedra didn't like the video. So needless to say, Phaedra's not going to put the video out, but she still has to pay Todd. And it just looked like it just pissed her off that she had to pay that man, honey, because she was just looking like, kind of rolling her eyes and stuff. And then she was throwing a little bit of shade. She was like, yeah, I know this is his only job, so he needs this money. So I'm going to go ahead and cut him a check. So she told Todd she was going to cut him that check finally. And so they moved on to talk about other things. But, ooh, the look on her face was like, oh, I don't want to pay your fucking ass this money. But, so she moved on, started talking about Candy and the baby shower and stuff. And that was cool. They moved on to on a better note. So that's good. But, I think this about to be the end of this season because I can tell by the way the episodes are going. But anywho, so that was pretty much it. There was really nothing more going on this episode. This episode was actually boring when you think about it. But I really do hope things work out with Kenya and her mother because that's just sad. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And till next time, I'll holla.